Hello, everyone. Since we couldn't have a lot of time together for our staff meeting, we thought it might be good just to do a quick overview of an explanation of the supervision that's assigned on the staff site. So I'm just going to talk through each of these. I'm not going to read them to you, but just give you a quick overview. If you have questions, you can let us know. So starting with morning supervision, there are some area-specific instructions that you can look at. The basics for in the morning is helping students get where they need to go, monitoring them and making sure that they're not congregating too much. There are some restroom instructions on a later slide that we can go over. Um, but in general, like I said, just making sure that students are moving along to where they need to go. So look over your instructions for the area that you're in, just see if there's anything else. This has a map with some specific assignments. So if you are do not have a homeroom, you'll want to check this to make sure that you see if you have an area that you're overseeing there. And this is students will be released to start going to homeroom at 7:20. This is the lunch supervision schedule. So this year, lunch is being supervised by all of us in the office. Each of us are taking a lunch and splitting it between each of one of us and counselors, as well as assigning some paras to these lunches. Our wellness teachers will support us for about the last 15 minutes of lunch, where we're going to allow students during the last 10 to choose if they would like to spend that last 10 minutes in the gym. So that is something I believe that has happened in the past. So we're going to try to see if we can work towards that. So restroom supervision, we have a schedule to start with here, and what we try to do is take a look at if you had uh, a prep coming up. That way, you didn't have to worry about students like waiting in a room for you. We just ask that if you have a prep coming up and you're on this list, if you would head over to the restroom that's indicated in this area, just to kind of monitor, try to limit up to around 5 students in the restroom at a time. This is mostly for safety and just making sure there's not too much congregation in the restroom. Just remind students to keep the water and trash off the floor. If you kind of walk over every once in a while, and so they know that you're present, then they tend to not do that as much. And then encourage students to move along and not linger too much in the restroom. We are looking to rotate this throughout the year, so you wouldn't have this all the time. We're still working on exactly what that schedule would look like, but we'll keep you posted on that. For afternoon supervision, we're going to kind of follow the model we did at the end of the year last year for those of you that were here. Some of you will have some assigned areas, which you can see here. And if you are assigned an area and you have students during the last period, when we dismiss via the PA, you will go with whatever the first group is. We are planning to dismiss based on teams again, just to kind of help with traffic flow. And if you look below, we did mention that we're going to utilize door 11 and door 12 just to help with traffic flow and not having too much crowding. So make sure that you take a look at that. This is the team of the teacher. So this is not like the team of the students because that could be mixed. So whoever you are as a teacher, whichever team you are on, that is when those students in your room will leave. So everyone else, once your team is dismissed, then you'll accompany students outside. Please encourage them to keep moving along and not gather or congregate. They should continue moving out towards the buses or towards car pickup. Something that will be a little different this year, just to help facilitate safety outside and making sure we have adequate supervision. On the schedule below, which is roughly around 6 weeks, I tried to balance it based on when some breaks were. It's not exact equal for each one, but it is definitely pretty close. Um, so if your team is listed below, like blue team is going to be first here starting August 11th. Basically, what that means is you're going to follow the procedures I mentioned in the previous slide, where you're going to follow your students out. All we ask is that if it's your assigned time frame, that you remain outside and that you split your team, 3 to 4 members spread out along the sidewalk, and 3 to 4 members continue on up to the car pickup area, just to help provide some extra eyes. There are some instructions here, guidance for the area that you're in. On if you're in the bus area, just again, we're trying to keep students from congregating and gathering. They may want to stop and say hi to their friends. Just encourage them to keep moving along so they can get to the buses, so we don't hold that process up. If you're headed to the car pickup area, uh, one of us will be in that area with the radio, and it would be nice to have a couple more team members that are that area, a couple that can monitor students to make sure that they are keeping clear of the traffic lanes, and maybe another staff member that can help wave cars on so they continue to pull forward. We want to encourage students to wait until cars have pulled all the way forward before they get in. You're all free to leave these supervision areas at 2:50. I just ask that if you're able to, if there uh, if you're able to stay until the car pickup is clear, that'd be great. As many people that can do that, that's not required. And then just trying to be aware that if you are leaving an area that and there's still students there, just make sure that there's other staff there, and an administrator before you do that. We shouldn't have any issues with that. Just every once in a while, there could be an issue that arises that we're tending to, and again, we're not requiring folks to do that, just asking that you kind of be aware of that, just for student safety. That would not be something that occurs on a regular basis. Here's a map that goes along with what I was explaining. It kind of points out your area if you have an assigned area. So take a look at that, please. And finally, this is where the buses are as of this week. So if you are assisting with the buses in the afternoon this month, or whenever your month is, you may want to have a copy of this handy. We'll try to have some in the office too. That way, if students come out and they don't know where their bus is, then you can have this handy and point them in the right direction. So starting here at the beginning of school, if you are, like I said, in the afternoon dismissal, we'll probably have everyone actually show this to their students before we dismiss, as we get used to this and students learn where their buses are. But again, we'll have some copies available for you. All right, that's it. If you have any other questions, please let me know. This is kind of new to all of us, and it's been a little bit since we've had a more normal routine. So we may need to tweak this as we go, but hopefully this will be enough to get us started. And again, appreciate everyone's help in helping make sure that our kids are safe and they get where they need to go, because it definitely is a team effort. So thanks, everybody.